Hey there, Trailblazers. So today we're going to talk about setting your hourly rate as a Salesforce consultant. Now, with that, we first need to figure out what your take home number is. How much money do you need to take home to cover your expenses? For this example, we're going to say it's $50,000. Now, we're also going to be using the profit first approach, which, if you haven't checked out the book, I recommend reading it, getting it from the library for free. You can also do the audiobook and listen to it plugging Libby, which is a great app. So with the profit first approach, we're going to have different reserve accounts. We're going to have a profit account that's going to be 5% of our overall take home, our tax account, which will be 15%. Our operating expense, we'll put that at 30%. Yours might be higher or lower. And then the owner's pay, and that's what you're actually taking home, and that is 50% of the overall take home revenue. Now, if your owner's pay, what you're earning is 50%, and you need $50,000, what that means is you need to basically overall take home double that amount. So we need to actually earn $100,000 in order to meet our minimum income of $50,000. Now, how do we kind of break that down? Well, first we need to define our workable hours. So again, as a consultant, it's not going to be the same as your normal 9 to 5 job. What we're going to do is we're going to say that your workable hours are going to be 20 hours a week. Now, this might seem like, oh, well, only 20 hours a week. Yeah, that'd be great. But realistically, the 20 hours a week is when you're actually doing the work with the clients. The other 20 hours of work a week that you're doing, or maybe more, likely more, is going to be all the other things that go along with being a business owner. So doing your taxes, tracking your expenses, documentation, anything that just kind of goes along with your running your business. So for 20 hours a week of work, overall, that we have 20 hours times their 52 weeks a year, you arrive at 1,040 hours, so 1040. And that, what we need to do is take that $100,000 that we need to earn, and we're going to divide it by the 1,040 hours that we have to work, and that will give us our hourly rate, and that comes out to $96.15 an hour, which might seem a lot. My very first job, granted, I was like 13 and working at an ice cream parlor, was $2.25. My first, big adult job after college was, I think, around $13 an hour, and my first Salesforce career that I landed into was about $30 an hour. All of those are, especially the last one is great, seemingly, but it is significantly less than that 96.15 that we're looking to charge clients. But again, we're kind of planning out what we need and working back from there in a realistic number. And this gives us some flexibility throughout the year, because with this number, as we mentioned, you're not going to be always having to do work that's related to clients. You have a lot of other responsibilities. Also, you don't always have consistency with clients. You might have someone who has a contract, which is great for 6 months, but then after that 6 months, you are diving and looking in for other contract opportunities. You might have a break between clients. Things change. You take time off. When you take vacation, you don't have necessarily like any paid time, vacation time that you can use up. You don't work, you don't get paid. So this kind of helps account for that by reducing and saying that 20 hours a week. And then also just comparing it against market research. So if you're looking at real world examples, I recommend looking at the Mason Frank Annual Careers and Hiring Guide. And that shows that a lot of consulting organizations and consultants in general are charging, I think the range for this recent year was 111 to 178 for an hourly rate for them. And when you look at what large consulting firms are actually charging their clients, it is easily going to be 250 plus an hour, because they have a lot more overhead. They're looking to pay the admin consultant that you're working with, but also maybe the business analyst and a scrum master, a developer, and all the other things that come with running a larger company. You are, as a solo consultant, don't have all that overhead, but because you're doing those jobs yourself. So $96 an hour versus what a large consultant company will be charging doesn't actually seem that bad. And now you come up with a kind of realistic number that could work for you in terms of like, what do I need to charge to be successful in my business, but also to kind of cover the needs that I have as a business owner. Hopefully, this helps, and you can kind of use these numbers and these figures to figure out what is the number that works for you to be successful as a Salesforce consultant.